Chosen one. Only 1 in a million have this mark on their left hand. You've always felt different, haven't you? There's something about you, something deep inside that sets you apart from the rest. Maybe you can't quite put it into words, but you know there's something more to your life than just surviving. Something in the pit of your stomach, that intuitive nudge, that spiritual whisper, it tells you that you are meant for more. You didn't just stumble into this life by chance. No, your soul has been on a journey long before you took your first breath. And if you're listening to these words, then your path is about to become clearer. Let me ask you something. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where it felt like everything was stacked against you? A moment when you should have been lost, when death should have claimed you, but somehow you made it out. I'm not talking about coincidence, luck, or even fate. I'm talking about something deeper, something divine. You've had your close calls, your near misses, and they all leave you with a strange feeling, like something or someone had your back the whole time. Perhaps it was a car accident you should have never walked away from. Maybe you were at the wrong place at the wrong time, but somehow you escaped unharmed. It could have been an illness, one that threatened to take you down, but you found yourself standing again when it didn't seem possible. There are moments in life when time seems to stretch, when reality shifts, and it feels as though you were saved by something beyond your comprehension. If any of this resonates with you, if you've ever had that eerie sense that there was more at play than just your own strength, then you've already experienced the first step of understanding what makes you different. Because the truth is, you are different. You are a chosen one. You didn't choose this path, it chose you. And that path began the moment you came into this world. From the very beginning, you were marked, not with something visible, but with something deeper, something only the soul can recognize. Have you ever wondered why you've always felt a sense of urgency, like you're here for a reason, something far beyond just living day to day? It's because your soul remembers. You may not be consciously aware of it yet, but your spirit has been waiting for this moment. Before we move forward, I want you to pause for a second. Take a deep breath and acknowledge something. You are not here by accident. You're here for a reason. That's why I'm speaking to you today, because your spirit is ready to hear this truth. You've felt the pull, the shift, haven't you? That quiet understanding that you've escaped something that should have taken you long ago, but it didn't. And now it's time for you to start asking why. Have you ever looked back on your life and thought to yourself, how did I survive that? And then felt that strange, deep knowing that your life has always been shielded, that something divine has been protecting you from the worst. That's no coincidence. It's part of the divine plan unfolding right before your eyes. You are not just anyone. You are someone marked for something greater. You've been spared from death, not once, not twice, but more times than you can even count. The first time death tried to claim you, it failed. But that was only the beginning of a series of close calls, each one revealing the purpose behind your existence. Each time you escaped, the universe, God, the divine presence was reminding you, not yet, you still have work to do. And now, I'm here to help you remember why. Before we dive deeper, I want to ask you to do something simple but powerful. Take a moment to like this video and subscribe, but only if you truly feel connected to what I'm saying. This isn't for everyone. This message is for you, the chosen ones, the ones who are ready to awaken. If that's you, I want you to commit to this journey with me. Together, we'll uncover the truth that has always been with you, waiting to be discovered. You may not realize it, but your life has already been shaped by a series of near-death moments that you might have brushed off as just bad luck or coincidences. But I'm here to tell you, those were not accidents. The first time death reached for you was a silent attack, one you didn't even fully understand at the time. You were too young, too innocent, to grasp the spiritual warfare that was already happening around you. But the enemy knew. It saw something in you, something that terrified it. It saw your potential, your light, your divine purpose, and it couldn't let you walk freely into your future. So it tried to take you out before you even had the chance to begin. That's why death came early. Not because you were weak, but because your destiny was dangerous. And that threat, that spiritual attack, came for your life even before you were aware of your true power. It wasn't just a matter of surviving some physical illness or accident. It was an attack on your soul, a direct strike aimed at keeping you from your purpose. It wanted to snuff out the light inside you, to prevent you from ever shining. Let's go back to that first moment. Maybe you don't remember all the details, but your spirit does. Maybe it was an illness that almost claimed you as a child. A fever so high it seemed like it might take you, but somehow, against all odds, you made it through. Maybe it was an accident, one that should have ended in tragedy, but for some reason, you walked away without a scratch. Perhaps you were even born under circumstances that were less than ideal, born into a difficult environment, or faced with challenges from the start. But no matter what it was, the outcome was the same. You survived. Why? Because your timeline hadn't yet run its course. Your spiritual purpose hadn't even begun to unfold, and heaven wasn't going to let death take you before the right time. There's a reason you're here, and it's not just about surviving, it's about fulfilling something much greater than your own life. And that divine protection, that unseen hand that has been covering you all these years, stepped in to make sure you didn't fall when the enemy tried to take you out. At that early stage in your life, you might not have known the spiritual battle was taking place, but it was, and you were already marked for protection. Your soul had already been called for a higher purpose, and the enemy saw it long before you did. So, it tried to stop you before you could even recognize the power inside of you. But the divine didn't allow it. Your first escape wasn't just physical, it was spiritual. There were forces in the unseen realm waging war on your behalf. Angels were intervening, your ancestors were interceding, and divine protection was covering you. Even when the people around you couldn't see it, your spirit knew. You were being kept safe, sheltered from harm, because there was more to your life than what you could see. The enemy's first attack wasn't just an attempt to harm you, it was an attempt to stop you from stepping into your calling. And heaven stepped in to say, "Not yet." That was your first escape. It may have looked like a recovery, like you just got better from an illness, or that accident didn't end the way it should have. But behind the scenes, something was happening in the spiritual realm. A shift, a divine intervention. Your soul had been marked, and the forces that protect you stepped in to make sure you stayed here for the work you were meant to do. You may have never fully understood that escape, but now you're beginning to see the truth behind it. That moment when you should have been lost, when the odds were stacked against you, was just the beginning of a series of close calls that would shape the path ahead. And here's the thing about those moments. They leave an imprint on your spirit. Every time you were pulled back from the edge, it wasn't just luck, it was divine strategy. And those close calls, those escapes, are part of your spiritual initiation. They awakened something inside you, something that would grow stronger as you continued on your journey. But let's take this a step further. If that first escape was a spiritual intervention to keep you alive, to protect the seed of your purpose, the second escape was just as important, because this time, the enemy didn't attack you with a physical threat. It came after something much more dangerous: your spirit, your soul, your very will to live. You've been there, haven't you? That moment when it felt like the weight of the world was on your shoulders, when everything inside you seemed to crumble. Maybe you've battled with depression, despair, or a deep sense of loneliness. Maybe you felt like there was no way out, no way forward. The darkness came in, quiet and subtle, wrapping around your soul like a vice. It wasn't just a bad day or a rough patch. This was a soul-deep attack, designed to break you from the inside out. The second time death came for you, it wasn't with a physical force, it was an attack on your mind. The enemy didn't need a weapon or a car crash. It only needed to plant seeds of doubt, confusion, and hopelessness. It needed to make you question your worth, your purpose, and whether it was even worth fighting anymore. You may have been in a place where you couldn't see the light anymore, where the pain felt too heavy and the walls closed in. You were fighting an internal battle, one that no one else could see. Maybe it was a relationship that drained your spirit. Maybe it was a job or a situation that slowly chipped away at your hope. But you were in a battle nonetheless. And that battle wasn't just about survival, it was about keeping your soul intact. But here's the truth. Even when you couldn't see it, divine protection was still covering you. You didn't fight that battle alone. Your spiritual team, angels, guides, your ancestors were still with you, even when you felt alone. They were fighting the battle you couldn't see, holding you up when you were ready to give in. It's easy to forget, in the midst of those dark moments, that you're not just fighting for your life, you're fighting for your purpose. And that second escape, that internal battle you fought and won, was part of your divine training. You didn't just survive that moment, you grew from it. Your resilience, your spiritual fortitude, was strengthened in ways you may not fully understand yet. What you didn't realize at the time was that you were in the process of being awakened, being spiritually activated. That inner battle, that fight against despair, was actually building the strength you would need for the challenges to come. And now, as you look back on it, you can see the wisdom that came from that season of darkness. You can see how those moments of weakness were actually moments of spiritual growth. You were being prepared for something greater. You were being equipped for the purpose that's now starting to unfold before you. That second escape wasn't just about surviving. It was about learning who you truly are and what you are capable of. It showed you your inner strength, your resilience, and your connection to something much larger than yourself. And once again, death's grip slipped away, unable to claim you, because your timeline wasn't finished. Now, the next time you wonder how you made it through, how you survived, what should have broken you, remember this: you weren't just surviving, you were being prepared, you were being refined. And each escape brought you closer to the truth of who you are and why you are still here. Your divine protection is not a coincidence. It's a sign that your life has purpose, that your soul was chosen for something far greater than what the enemy could ever imagine. You've survived, haven't you? You've made it through things that should have broken you, that should have taken you out, and yet here you are. The question is, how? How did you escape death not once, but multiple times? And what if I told you it wasn't just luck or coincidence? What if I told you that every time you walked away from danger, there was a reason for it, a deeper, spiritual reason? Your life has been covered, shielded, protected, not by your own strength, not by chance, but by divine protection. The universe, the divine, God, whatever you call it, has been guarding you, keeping you safe, and setting you up for something far greater than you can imagine. You weren't meant to die in those moments because you still have work to do, still have a purpose to fulfill, and heaven wasn't about to let that be interrupted. But let's pause and think about this for a moment. Why do you think the enemy has tried so hard to take you out? Why, when others have faced challenges and fallen, have you kept going? Why, when your back was against the wall, did something always seem to intervene, to pull you back from the brink of destruction? There's a reason. You were marked long before you even realized it. Before you even knew what your purpose was, before you understood the depths of your calling, heaven had already laid the foundation, and the enemy saw it. It recognized the divine blueprint on your life, and that's why it tried to take you out early, but it failed. Why? Because your spiritual purpose was too significant to be taken down by an attack. Your mission wasn't over, and the divine protection surrounding you made sure of that. Let's talk about that protection for a moment. Divine protection is not a vague concept or a whimsical idea. It's real, it's tangible. It's an active force that steps in when your life is on the line, even when you don't recognize it at the time. It's like a shield that surrounds you, guiding you, keeping you aligned with your purpose. And this protection doesn't just come when everything is going right. It's especially active when you're under attack, when things seem like they're falling apart, when the enemy is trying to take you down. Divine protection isn't always comfortable. In fact, it's often uncomfortable. It's not about keeping you in a bubble of peace and comfort. It's about keeping you on the path that leads to your ultimate purpose. Sometimes that path is filled with obstacles, challenges, and pain, but the protection is always there. It's the intuition that tells you to take a different route, the feeling that warns you to avoid a certain person or situation. It's the timing of a missed connection or a last-minute change of plans that ends up saving you from danger. Divine protection is subtle, but it's always there, guiding you, leading you toward what you're meant to do. And here's the truth. When you've been marked for a purpose, when your soul has a divine assignment, you become a target. The enemy will try to stop you, to distract you, to derail you. It will use people, circumstances, and even your own doubts against you. But divine protection stands firm. It doesn't allow the enemy's plans to succeed. It makes sure that you stay on track, no matter how hard the enemy tries to knock you off course. You may not always see it. You may not always understand why things happen the way they do. But looking back, you'll see the hand of divine protection in every close call, every near miss, every moment when you should have been lost but were saved instead. Think about the times when something happened that made no sense, when you were late to something, but it turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to you, when you avoided a situation that you later learned was dangerous, or when you heard a voice inside your head telling you to stop, to wait, to turn around, and you did. That wasn't random. That wasn't coincidence. That was your spiritual protection at work. When you look at your life, the moments of escape, the times when you felt something intervene, you have to understand one thing: you've been marked. You've been marked for something greater than yourself. Your purpose is too important for the enemy to succeed. And every time the enemy tried to take you out, it failed. Why? Because your timeline is still unfolding. Your purpose is still active. This divine protection isn't just a random act of mercy. It's strategic. It's part of the plan. Every time you were pulled back from the edge, heaven was aligning things for your greater good. It was making sure that you were kept safe for what's to come, for the destiny that lies ahead. But that doesn't mean you were just wrapped in a blanket of comfort and kept away from the world. No, divine protection doesn't always feel like comfort. Sometimes it feels like delays, like isolation, like pain. And you may have wondered, at times, why things weren't coming together as quickly as you wanted, why things seemed to take longer than expected, why doors closed that you thought were meant to be open. Here's the secret: delays are part of divine protection. You may have thought you were being held back, but in reality, you were being prepared. You were being shaped for the journey ahead. Sometimes, divine protection isn't about saving you from danger right away. Sometimes, it's about keeping you out of situations that would have harmed you, keeping you in a place of refinement until the right moment. It's about alignment, about making sure that you are ready for what's to come. The delays, the pain, the isolation, they were all part of the process. They were part of the divine strategy. And now, you can see how those moments of waiting, those moments of feeling stuck, were really moments of protection. They were moments when heaven was setting things up for you, removing the wrong people and situations from your life and preparing the right ones to step in. Your timeline has been carefully crafted, and that's why you've survived. You're not here by accident. You've been spared for something far greater. The attacks you've faced, the trials you've endured, all serve a greater purpose. And now, as you stand at this point in your life, you're beginning to understand the depth of your calling. But the work isn't finished. Your destiny is still unfolding. And that's why you can't let go of this truth. You are protected, and that protection isn't just for your past, it's for your future. Every escape, every close call, has been preparing you for this moment, the moment when you step fully into your purpose and destiny. So, as you continue on this journey, remember, you are covered, you are not alone. You are not just surviving, you are thriving, because heaven is walking with you every step of the way. And no matter what comes next, you can be certain of one thing: the divine protection around you is unshakable. You've been marked for something great, and nothing, not even the enemy's best efforts, can stop you from fulfilling that purpose. Now, let's talk about something that's even deeper. You've survived physical threats, emotional chaos, mental warfare, and close calls that others could never understand. But here's the reality. While you may have escaped the clutches of physical danger, the greatest war often happens within. There's a battle of the mind, a battle of the spirit, and it can feel like the heaviest fight you'll ever face. And this was the second attack on your life, though you didn't even realize it at the time. This wasn't a near miss on the road or a health scare. It was far more subtle, far more dangerous. The second escape was not about avoiding a car crash or surviving a sickness. It was about surviving what almost took your will to live. It was the moment when despair and hopelessness threatened to consume you from the inside out. It was the attack on your mind, the attack on your spirit, the assault on your very will to fight. Perhaps it wasn't an obvious attack. Maybe it was a period of loneliness, confusion, or deep sadness. Maybe there was a season where you questioned everything, your worth, your purpose, your future. You might have felt like you were losing yourself, slipping into an emotional void where nothing seemed to matter anymore. That darkness, that silence, that weight, it was almost more than you could bear. The inner battle you fought was brutal, and many people never return from it. This was the internal war that not many talk about, but it's often the most dangerous. It's the mental and emotional battle that doesn't show up on the surface, but it's no less real. Maybe it was depression that lingered, an invisible cloud that followed you even when you smiled on the outside. Maybe it was an inner voice that told you you weren't enough, that you'd never make it, that the pain was too much to bear. Maybe it was loneliness so deep that you questioned your very purpose, your reason for being. But somehow, some way, you made it through. The reason? Divine protection. Your mind was under attack, and yet something held you together. When the weight of the world felt unbearable, when everything seemed to be falling apart, you held on. You found a way to keep going, even if you didn't know how. Maybe it was a random phone call that gave you comfort. Maybe it was a word of encouragement from a stranger. Maybe it was the soft whisper of your spirit telling you, "Hold on, this will pass." You didn't do it alone. You were never alone, even in your most isolated moments. You may have felt abandoned, but in reality, heaven was there with you, holding you up when you couldn't carry yourself. That's the thing about divine protection. It doesn't always look like what you think it should. Sometimes it's the small things, the subtle moments, the brief flickers of light in your darkest times. Those were the moments when your spiritual team stepped in, guiding you, nudging you, reminding you that you were never meant to give up. This was the second escape, the battle against despair, and it was just as critical as the physical threats you faced. Why? Because if you had given in to the darkness, if you had let that mental and emotional collapse win, you might never have stepped into your destiny. The second escape was a spiritual one. It was the moment when your spirit refused to give up, when it chose life over death. When your mind was at war with itself, your soul fought back with everything it had. And that, my friend, was divine intervention. You may not have seen it then, but now you can recognize it for what it was. That struggle was part of your awakening. The attack on your mind, the isolation, the confusion, it wasn't just a coincidence. It was part of the plan. You were being tested, refined, and prepared for the life that lies ahead. You were being strengthened in ways that only the darkest of times could bring. The second escape didn't just protect you from falling into despair. It awakened something inside you. It helped you realize your inner strength. You may not have had the words for it back then, but you found the courage to push through. You found the resolve to keep going, to rise above the mental and emotional noise, to hold on to the truth that there was more to your life than the pain you were feeling. That struggle, that emotional and mental warfare, was never in vain. It was the moment when you started to tap into the power that had always been inside you. And that power, that inner strength, would be what you would rely on in the days to come. You learned resilience in those dark moments. You learned that no matter how deep the darkness, you could always find the light within you, and that light was divine. But let's be clear, this wasn't just about surviving. This was about transformation. You were being refined, tested, and shaped by the pain. The second escape wasn't just about avoiding the emotional collapse. It was about emerging stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your purpose. It was about the spiritual awakening that came from surviving those moments of despair. And here's the powerful truth. This emotional and mental collapse was not the last attack you'll face. It won't be the final moment where you feel like giving up, but the key to surviving the next round is knowing what you've already overcome. The second escape taught you the most important lesson you'll ever learn. Your spirit is stronger than your circumstances. No matter what comes against you, you will rise again, just like you did before. You are a living testimony to the power of resilience. Every time life tries to break you down, you rise. Every time the enemy whispers that you're not enough, you stand up and say, "I am." And this is where your spiritual journey takes an incredible turn. Because every time you rise from despair, from emotional collapse, you're not just surviving, you're stepping deeper into your purpose. But it's not just about surviving, it's about thriving. That's what the second escape revealed to you. You're not just here to make it through life, you're here to step into the fullness of your calling. And the strength you found within yourself during that dark season is the very strength that will fuel you as you step into the next phase of your journey. You may still be healing from that battle. The scars may still be there, but they are not marks of weakness. They are reminders of how far you've come. They are the proof that you can endure, that you can rise again, that no matter what comes against you, you are stronger than you think. So, as you reflect on this second escape, the one where your soul was on the line, remember this: you are not defined by your struggles. You are defined by your ability to rise. And that is the divine protection that has always been with you. It's the protection that will continue to guard you, guide you, and carry you forward, no matter what life throws your way. Now that you've navigated the internal battles, the emotional and spiritual wars that threatened your soul, let's move forward. The first two escapes, one from the physical realm and the other from a mental and emotional collapse, were critical. They were necessary, they built your resilience, and they activated the power that lies within you. But there is one more thing that had to happen, something even deeper. The third escape, the physical threat, is where the battle takes a new form. You see, the first two attacks, the ones that reached for your spirit, your will, and your mind, were spiritual in nature. They were subtle, in a way, but incredibly powerful. They didn't manifest as immediate dangers you could see or touch. They were internal, but no less real. And each time, divine protection covered you, helped you rise above them. But the third escape was different. This time, the threat wasn't subtle. It was physical, real, raw, and undeniable. The third escape was the moment when you saw the danger with your own eyes, felt it in your body, and yet, somehow, you made it out unscathed. This time, it wasn't a feeling, an intuition, or a whisper in your spirit. No, this time, the danger was as clear as day. You were facing something physical, a threat that could have taken your life in an instant. Perhaps it was a car accident where you narrowly missed being hit, or a moment when you came face to face with violence, and by some miracle, you walked away without a scratch. Maybe it was a health crisis, an illness, an infection, or a surgery that went terribly wrong, but somehow, your body held on, and you survived against all odds. You may remember the way time seemed to slow down in that moment of danger. Your heart raced, your mind went into overdrive, and yet, something shifted. In that moment, something intervened. You don't know how, but you know it wasn't just luck. It was divine protection, once again stepping in, shifting the course of events, and ensuring you survived. It wasn't your time to go, and something far greater than yourself was at work. What you experienced was not a coincidence. It was a divine intervention, something that went beyond what the human mind can fully comprehend. In that moment, you were being held by something far greater than yourself, something beyond your understanding. Death itself had to step back because your purpose wasn't finished. Heaven had spoken over you, and that's why you're still here. But this third escape was not only about being saved, it was about the confirmation of your purpose. It was a sign that you were being preserved for something monumental. The danger was real, the threat undeniable, but you were spared, and that can only mean one thing: there is still work for you to do. Your assignment on this earth is still active, and no matter how hard the enemy tries to stop you, it cannot take you out. This physical danger, this escape from death, was a reminder that your life is not in your own hands alone, but in the hands of something far greater than you. That near-death experience, the moment when everything could have gone wrong, but it didn't, was heaven's way of showing you that you have a divine purpose, and that purpose is not yet fulfilled. The enemy saw it coming. It saw your light, your calling, and it tried to snuff it out, but heaven stepped in and said, "Not yet." And this, chosen one, is the crucial turning point. This is where you begin to see the bigger picture. You start to understand that every close call, every moment of protection wasn't random. It wasn't luck. It wasn't an accident. Each of these experiences has been a step towards something far greater than what you can see. You were marked long ago, and heaven has been protecting you from the very first breath you took. You may have wondered, after that third escape, why you were spared. Why did you survive when others didn't? Why were you given more time? Why are you still here when everything seemed to be stacked against you? That question is part of your journey, part of your awakening. You are still here because you were meant for something greater, and the work you are destined to do on this earth isn't finished yet. Let's take a step back and think about the significance of this. There's a reason why you've survived all of these near-death moments. It's not just about existing. It's about fulfilling a divine purpose that was written before you were even born. There's something inside you, a light, a calling that's far too powerful for the enemy to destroy. And every time the enemy tries to take you down, heaven steps in and says, "Not yet." This is the truth you must come to terms with. You are not just surviving. You are here for a reason. Your survival is not a coincidence. It is a sign of divine protection, a sign of the power that lies within you. You've been spared for something extraordinary. And every time death tries to claim you, it will be denied, because heaven has a plan for you. The physical escape, the moment when the threat was real, was not the end of your story. It was a confirmation that your path has been marked by something greater than you can understand. It was a divine signpost telling you that you are here for a reason, that you have been set apart for something powerful. And this is where your journey truly begins. You may have walked through fire, faced danger, and stared death in the face, but you survived. Why? Because you are a chosen one. You are marked for greatness. You have a purpose that no one and nothing can take away from you. And each time you survived a near-death experience, you were strengthened, fortified, and prepared for the mission that lies ahead. Your journey is not over. You have not reached the end. You are still here, still breathing, still moving forward, because your work is not finished. You've been preserved for a divine purpose, and now is the time for you to walk fully into that purpose. Your time is coming, and everything you've survived has brought you to this exact moment. So, take a moment to reflect on what you've been through. Take a moment to recognize the divine protection that has covered you every step of the way. You are here for a reason. You are here to fulfill a purpose that no one else can fulfill. Your survival is not a fluke. It is a sign that you are chosen for something greater. And now, it's time to embrace that truth. It's time to step fully into your destiny. The world needs you, chosen one. It needs your light, your gifts, your purpose. You are here to make a difference. And nothing, not even death itself, can take that away from you. You were spared because your life has meaning, and that meaning is only just beginning to unfold. By now, you've survived 3 major escapes, each one more significant than the last. The first was a spiritual intervention that kept your life from being cut short. The second was an emotional and mental battle, one that sought to break your spirit from the inside. The third was a physical threat, a real and tangible danger that should have taken you out, but it didn't. And now, you stand here, still breathing, still moving forward. But what happens next? What does all of this mean for your purpose, your path, and your destiny? Let me tell you something important. Your journey is just beginning. You've been preserved for a reason. All of these close calls, these divine interventions, have been leading up to this moment, the moment when your destiny begins to unfold before you in ways you've never imagined. It's easy to look at your life so far and think of it as a series of random events, a string of accidents or lucky breaks. But I'm here to tell you that your life has been marked. Every moment, every near-death experience has been a divine strategy to prepare you for what's to come. You weren't meant to simply survive. You were meant to thrive, to rise, to awaken. And now that you've survived these attacks, physical, emotional, and mental, you are starting to realize that something bigger is at work. You've felt it for a long time, haven't you? That inner knowing, that deep sense that you're meant for more, that your life has a purpose far beyond what you can see. The time has come for you to begin walking fully in that purpose. Your divine protection wasn't just about keeping you alive. It was about getting you to this point where you're ready to awaken to the power that lies within you. The reason you're still here is because the world needs what you carry. You've been through the fire, through the darkest places, and now your light is ready to shine. And this is where the real work begins. Now that you're on the other side of those 3 close calls, now that you've been refined, tested, and purified by each of these challenges, it's time for you to step into your role as a beacon of light for others. You see, your divine protection wasn't just for you, it was also for the people you're meant to serve. Your survival has purpose. Your escape from death, time and time again, is not just evidence of your own strength. It's a sign that you were spared for the good of others. You have a gift, a calling, a mission that's greater than your personal journey, and that mission is now starting to reveal itself. When you walk through the fires of life and come out on the other side, something changes within you. You're no longer the same person who went in. You've been refined, transformed, and shaped into someone who carries a deeper wisdom, a stronger sense of purpose, and a more profound connection to your divine source. You now walk with a spiritual awareness that others can sense, even if they don't understand it. Your very presence shifts the energy in a room, and people are drawn to you without knowing why. That is the power of someone who has survived what you've survived, someone who has been chosen and marked for something greater. But here's the truth. With this power comes responsibility. You are not here just for yourself. You are here for others. You've survived so much because you are meant to be a light in a dark world, a source of healing for the broken, a voice for the voiceless. Your life has meaning beyond anything you can yet fully comprehend. And now that you've survived, now that you've been prepared, it's time for you to step into that purpose. But there's a catch. You can't walk this path without a clear understanding of who you are, what you're here to do, and how to protect yourself spiritually. This is where your divine protection transforms into divine responsibility. Now that you are aware of the power you carry, it's time for you to take the necessary steps to protect that power and stay aligned with your divine calling. Because the enemy will not give up. It will continue to try to distract you, derail you, and lead you away from your true purpose. And without awareness and protection, you could easily be pulled off course. You've already seen how divine protection works in your life, but now it's time for you to activate that protection on a daily basis. This means living with intentionality, with awareness, and with discipline. It means guarding your energy, protecting your mind, and aligning yourself with your spiritual purpose. It's not enough to simply survive anymore. You must learn to thrive spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. And that starts with daily practices of protection and alignment. Spiritual protection is not something that happens passively. It requires active participation. Just as a warrior prepares for battle, you must prepare your spirit to fight off the attacks that will inevitably come. This means taking time each day to center yourself, to connect with your divine source, and to reinforce your spiritual protection. It means listening to your intuition and honoring the nudges you receive from the universe. It means setting boundaries with people and situations that drain your energy or pull you away from your purpose. The first step in activating your spiritual protection is cultivating discernment. You've already experienced moments when your intuition guided you, when your spirit nudged you away from danger, when you felt that something wasn't right. That's divine protection working through your intuition. Moving forward, you must learn to trust that intuition completely. Your spiritual discernment is one of the most powerful tools you have. It will guide you toward the right people, the right opportunities, and away from the wrong ones. Another important practice is prayer and meditation. These are not just rituals, they are essential to your spiritual well-being. When you pray, you connect with the divine presence that has been protecting you all along. You tap into the power that is always available to you. When you meditate, you create space for clarity and guidance to come through. Both practices are forms of spiritual protection because they align you with your true purpose and keep you grounded in the divine energy that surrounds you. But it's not just about spiritual practices, it's also about protecting your mental and emotional health. You've learned to fight battles on the inside, and now it's time to continue that work. Protecting your mind means setting boundaries with your thoughts. It means guarding your emotions and not allowing yourself to be overwhelmed by negativity or fear. You have to learn to protect your peace, to guard your heart, and to stay focused on the bigger picture, even when the world around you feels chaotic. And lastly, it's about community. Surrounding yourself with people who align with your purpose and who support your journey is a form of spiritual protection. You were never meant to walk this path alone. The right people will uplift you, encourage you, and help keep you aligned with your divine purpose. But the wrong people can drain you, distract you, and pull you off course. That's why it's so important to be intentional about who you allow in your life. Choose wisely and protect your energy from anyone or anything that doesn't align with your higher self. So now, as you stand on the other side of these 3 escapes, the work isn't over, it's just begun. You've been protected, you've been refined, and now you are ready to step fully into your purpose. The divine has shown you that you are not here by accident, and now it's time for you to show up as the person you were always meant to be. Your survival is a testimony to the power of divine protection, and your journey has only just begun. You are a vessel of light, and it's time to let that light shine brighter than ever before. As you reflect on the divine protection that has accompanied you through each of your escapes, it's time to understand something crucial. What has occurred in your life so far was not just about survival, it was the beginning of your awakening. You may have survived physical threats, mental challenges, and emotional struggles, but what is truly at stake is far greater. You've been marked for greatness, and now you must understand the power and purpose that lie within you. This awakening is not only about surviving, it's about stepping into the fullness of who you are. Now that you are aware of your divine protection, now that you understand that your survival was no accident, it's time for you to embrace the next phase of your journey. This is where things get serious. You have been kept for a purpose that is uniquely yours. The world needs you. You are the one who has been chosen to step into your destiny and bring healing, light, and truth to places and people that need it most. But here's the thing. Stepping into that purpose requires a shift in your mindset, a shift in your actions, and a deepening of your connection to the divine source that has been guiding you. You are no longer just someone who has survived, you are someone who has been prepared for something much bigger. You have been refined, shaped, and protected for this very moment in time. You are being called to rise and fully step into the role you were born to play. You may feel the tension within you, the pull to rise, but also the hesitancy that lingers. It's natural to feel a sense of resistance when you're called to embrace something that feels bigger than you, something that challenges you to let go of what is comfortable and familiar. But the truth is, you were never meant to stay in that comfortable place. You were never meant to play small. Your divine purpose is too great for you to remain where you've been. The time has come for you to move forward with boldness and courage. But how do you do that? How do you step into your divine calling when it feels so big, so overwhelming? The first step is to trust. Trust in the divine plan that has always been unfolding in your life, even when you didn't understand it. Trust in the fact that every moment, every close call, every escape from death was part of this greater plan. Your timeline was never an accident. The divine has always known the path you would walk, and it has been guiding you toward this moment. Trust in that guidance. Trust in yourself. You have already shown time and time again that you can overcome obstacles, rise above challenges, and survive. The strength and resilience you've built through your experiences have prepared you for this moment. You are not weak. You are strong. You are capable. You have already survived the hardest battles, and now you are ready for the next chapter. The second step is to embrace your spiritual gifts. These gifts have been awakened in you through your near-death escapes, through your battles, through your journey. You may not fully understand the power within you yet, but it's time to start recognizing it. Your intuition, your ability to sense energy, your connection to the divine, your understanding of others' pain and struggles, these are all gifts that you've been given to help guide you and others on this journey. Your gifts may feel overwhelming at times, and they may even confuse you. But know this, You were chosen because you have the ability to walk in alignment with these gifts and use them for the greater good. Your gifts will not only help you navigate the path ahead, but they will also help those around you who need your light. You are a beacon, a vessel of healing and truth, and the world needs what you carry. Now is the time to stop questioning your abilities. You've already proven that you can survive the toughest battles. Now, it's time to trust that you have the spiritual strength and wisdom to move forward. Your purpose has always been inside of you, waiting to be unlocked, waiting for you to step into your power. The time for questioning is over. It's time for you to rise. The third step is to align yourself with divine timing. This is key. Your life, your purpose, and your mission are all in divine order. There is no rush, no hurry. Everything you've been through, every close call, every escape has been preparing you for the perfect moment. And that moment is now. Your timeline is divine. It's already unfolding exactly as it should. Trust in that timing, and don't try to force things before they're meant to happen. The enemy will try to make you feel as though you are late, that you're falling behind, that others are ahead of you. But don't listen to that lie. You are right where you need to be. Divine timing is never early, never late. It's always perfect. The challenges you've faced and the escapes you've survived have been part of this perfect timing, shaping you for what is to come. And when the time is right, everything will fall into place. Your divine purpose will not be denied. No matter how much resistance you face, no matter how many setbacks or delays, your calling will come to fruition. Trust that the universe, God, or whatever you believe in, is orchestrating everything behind the scenes. Your job is to stay aligned with that purpose and take the necessary steps when the time comes. The fourth step is to walk in faith, not fear. It's easy to look at the challenges ahead and feel overwhelmed. It's easy to feel small in the face of such a big calling. But remember, you were chosen for this. You were prepared for this. Every step of your life has been leading you to this moment. And now that you're here, you are ready. The fear you feel is natural. It's the fear of the unknown, the fear of stepping into something unfamiliar. But fear is not your enemy. Fear is just the signal that you're moving in the right direction. It's a sign that you're stepping outside your comfort zone and into your true purpose. Walk in faith. Have the courage to trust that you are exactly where you need to be. Even when things don't make sense, even when the path ahead seems unclear, trust that the divine is guiding you. Faith doesn't mean knowing everything. Faith means trusting even when you don't know the full picture. And finally, surround yourself with the right people. You are not meant to walk this journey alone. The right people will elevate you, encourage you, and help you stay on track with your divine purpose. These are the people who will recognize your light, who will support your growth, and who will be there to help you when you falter. You need a community of like-minded individuals who are walking their own spiritual journeys and who understand the importance of your mission. But don't waste time with people who drain your energy, who pull you away from your purpose, or who make you doubt your calling. Protect your energy and guard your heart. Only allow those who truly align with your divine mission to be in your inner circle. You are surrounded by divine protection, but part of that protection comes from the choices you make about who you allow into your life. Your mission is clear. You are here to awaken, to rise, and to share your light with the world. You have already survived so much, and now it's time to thrive. You have a purpose that no one else can fulfill, a calling that is unique to you. And now, more than ever, the world needs what you carry. Step into that purpose with faith, trust, and boldness. This is your time to shine. You've now reached a crucial turning point in your journey. The path ahead of you is filled with opportunity, challenge, and potential. You have been through a lot to get here, more than most people can imagine, and yet you're still standing, stronger and wiser than before. But with all that you've survived, you might still wonder, why am I still here? What is my purpose now that I've made it through? Let me tell you something important. Surviving the trials you've faced isn't just about getting through tough situations. It's about awakening to something far more powerful, something that has always been inside you, waiting for the right moment to be unleashed. Your survival, your protection, and your escapes were all preparation for this moment. the moment when you begin to truly realize your divine purpose. You were chosen for something bigger than yourself. Your life has been a series of lessons, challenges, and triumphs that have all worked together to bring you to this moment. Every near-death experience, every battle, every escape has led you to this moment where your purpose is no longer a distant dream, it's becoming a tangible reality. This is the point where you step into full alignment with your mission. There is no more waiting, there's no more hesitation. You've been given everything you need to succeed. And now, it's time to walk boldly in your calling, fully awake, fully aware, and fully aligned with the divine timing that has brought you to this point. Now, as you take this step into your divine purpose, you need to understand something crucial. This journey won't be without its challenges. The enemy will still try to deter you, the obstacles will still be there, and the road will not always be easy. But here's the key. You are no longer walking in the dark. You are now walking with full spiritual awareness, with the strength and wisdom that has been cultivated in your soul through all your experiences. The power that lies within you is immeasurable. You have faced the hardest battles and come out victorious. You've already survived what most people would never make it through. And now, it's time to take that strength and use it to propel yourself forward. The world needs your light, your gifts, your voice, and your presence. Your purpose is far greater than you may even realize, but it's time to start walking it out. The first step in this new chapter of your journey is learning to fully trust in the divine plan. You've been shown time and time again that your life is not random. There is a plan for you, and it is unfolding exactly as it should. But this requires faith. It requires you to trust that even when things seem uncertain, when the road ahead seems unclear, that you are still being led in the right direction. This is where you need to let go of any doubts you might still carry. You've been shown how deeply you're protected, how much the universe, the divine, God, whatever you call it, is invested in you. Every time death has reached for you, it has been denied because you still have something important to do. And that something is tied to a much bigger plan, one that is unfolding step by step. You are not here to simply exist. You are here to fulfill a mission that's been written in the stars long before you ever arrived on this earth. Everything in your life has been aligning with this greater purpose. And now that you've seen the protective hand of the divine in your life, it's time to fully surrender to that plan. Trust that everything, even the hard moments, is leading you toward the highest good. The challenges you've faced were never in vain. They were preparing you for what's to come. The next part of this journey is understanding the power of the gifts you carry. You are not just anyone, you are a chosen one. And that means you carry divine gifts, gifts of healing, wisdom, intuition, and more. These gifts have been with you your whole life, even if you haven't fully recognized them yet. But now is the time for you to step into them fully. You may have already noticed your intuition growing stronger, your ability to read energy becoming more acute, or your capacity to help others deepening. These gifts are not just for your benefit, they are for the benefit of those around you, the world at large. You were given these gifts so you could serve others, heal wounds, and bring light to dark places. But stepping fully into your gifts requires something deeper. It requires surrendering to the truth that your life is no longer just about you. It's about the collective, about the people you are here to help, the lives you are here to touch. You've been through enough to know that your purpose is not small. It's not just about surviving or getting through life. It's about thriving, awakening others, and fulfilling a mission that will have a lasting impact. Whether it's through your words, your actions, or your very presence, you have the power to change lives. The enemy has tried to silence you, tried to distract you, but now it's time to use everything you've learned to make a difference in the world. Now that you are stepping into your divine purpose, you will inevitably face distractions and doubts. The enemy will try new tactics to slow you down, to make you question your worth, or to lead you off course. You will experience moments where the road ahead seems unclear, where the weight of your calling feels heavy, and where you wonder if you can truly rise to the occasion. But here's the truth. The doubt, the distractions, the obstacles, they are all part of the battle. They are part of the testing, the strengthening, the refining. You are no stranger to adversity. You've already been through so much, and you came out on the other side. So don't let these distractions deter you. Don't let doubt, fear, or uncertainty steal your peace or your focus. You have been prepared for this. You have been equipped with everything you need to succeed. When the doubts creep in, when the distractions arise, remember this. You are not alone. You are protected. You are guided. And the divine plan for your life is far greater than anything you can imagine. Stand firm in your truth, in your purpose, and in your connection to the divine. As you continue on this path, remember to move with intention. Every step you take should be in alignment with your purpose. This is not the time to be passive. This is the time to act, to move forward with boldness and clarity. Your life is unfolding at exactly the right pace, but that doesn't mean you should wait for things to happen. You must step into your power, take the actions that are aligned with your purpose, and trust that the universe will continue to guide you. You've already survived everything life has thrown at you. Now, it's time to thrive. Step forward with the knowledge that you are divinely protected, that you are divinely guided, and that your purpose is unfolding in the most beautiful way. Everything you've been through has prepared you for this moment. The divine has been with you every step of the way, and now it's time for you to walk boldly into the fullness of your calling. There will be times when the road gets tough, when you face resistance, or when you feel alone. But remember that you are never truly alone. The divine is always with you, protecting you, guiding you, and reminding you that your purpose is not only important, it is essential. You are here for a reason. The world needs what you carry. Now, take a moment and reflect on all you've been through. Recognize the power that lies within you, the divine protection that has covered you, and the purpose that is just beginning to unfold. This is your time. This is your moment to step fully into the calling you've been prepared for your entire life. Embrace it, own it, walk in it. You've now come to a place where the divine purpose within you is undeniable. You've survived what most people could never fathom. You've overcome battles that seemed impossible. You've risen through trials that should have broken you, and yet you stand firm, stronger than ever before. Now, the time has come for you to fully embrace the power within you and begin to walk in the fullness of your divine calling. But with this awakening comes responsibility. You've been given spiritual gifts, and those gifts are not just for your benefit, they are for the world. It's easy to think that surviving these experiences means the hardest part is behind you. But in reality, the real work begins now. It's time to step into the fullness of your potential, to rise higher than you've ever imagined, and to use your unique gifts to bring light to others. As you step into this new chapter of your journey, there's something important you must keep in mind. The world needs you. It needs your light, your wisdom, and your authenticity. You are a living testimony of divine protection, of the power of survival, and of the strength that lies within. Every time you have escaped death, every challenge you've faced has been preparing you for this. Your resilience, your spiritual gifts, and your story are what the world needs right now. You are not just here to survive, you are here to help others awaken, heal, and find their own path. So, as you continue moving forward, what will your next steps look like? How do you live in full alignment with your divine purpose, using your gifts for the highest good? The first step is to take ownership of your journey. Acknowledge the power that has been cultivated in you through every battle, every escape, every hardship. Embrace the wisdom you've gained, and know that you are more than capable of fulfilling the purpose you were born to serve. You've been protected for this moment. You've been guided every step of the way, even when you didn't see it. Now, you must act. You must share your story, your light, and your wisdom with those around you. There are people in your life who need to hear what you've experienced, to know that they too can rise above their struggles. You don't need to have all the answers. All you need to do is be present, authentic, and willing to share your journey. As you do, remember to stay grounded in your truth. Your life has been shaped by a unique combination of experiences, and no one else can walk the path you're meant to walk. Don't compare yourself to others or measure your success against theirs. Trust that your path is unfolding exactly as it should. Divine timing has brought you here, and it will continue to guide you as you move forward. Next, continue to protect your energy. You've come so far, and it's crucial that you stay aligned with your higher self. This means setting boundaries, staying true to your mission, and not allowing distractions or negativity to pull you away from what you're meant to do. Protect your peace, your energy, and your spiritual focus. Only allow those who support your growth and align with your purpose to be part of your journey. Surround yourself with people who elevate you, challenge you, and inspire you to keep going. Lastly, keep your connection to the divine strong. The journey you've walked so far was not done alone, and neither will the next steps be. Stay in tune with the guidance and protection that has always been there for you. Whether through prayer, meditation, or simply listening to your intuition, continue to seek the divine presence in your life. The more connected you are, the clearer your path will become. So, take a deep breath and reflect on where you are now. You've come so far, and the road ahead is waiting for you to walk it. There's no more hesitation. There's no more wondering whether you're ready. You are ready. You've been ready all along. The world needs you to step into the light of your divine calling. You have the power, the wisdom, and the protection to make a difference. It's time to walk in that truth, knowing that every step you take is in alignment with your purpose, and every breath you take is another moment of divine grace, guiding you forward. This is your time. This is your season. You were spared for this. You were protected for this. Now, it's time to rise and fulfill the purpose you were always meant to live. Wish Holy Spirits with you, chosen ones.